Well, this information was provided by the curator, exhibit curator at Sunwatch, Jill, and she wanted to help us have a foundation that introduced the art, so we can find out a little bit about Sunwatch here.
And that's those are photos of some of the reconstructed buildings.
That's right. This is the fortification, the fence that went around the building. They have some pretty interesting things. They have these tags on it because they really don't know which trees and that they would have used. So they have a multiple variety of trees. So they have tags for each type of tree. So they're observing what it does over the years. In the center here, you can see the center pole.
Yeah. So they're doing experimental archaeology. They're reconstructing things to test their theories.
Yes. Yeah. And then this is one of the homes, or this probably here was probably like the lodge where they assumed that the important people would be, whether it be male or female. But then they have the homes, and they've only excavated 1/4 of the Sunwatch village. They've left the other to rest.
Yeah, archaeology is a destructive science, so the modern archaeology tries to save as much as it can for future archaeologists, because who knows what technology they'll have.
That's excellent conservation on their part and respect, to not just go in and dig it up. They do have a discovery center, and they have some of the things that they have found over the years on display. You can see that. As a matter of fact, we'll talk about Bob Coates' pottery here in a minute, and how he used the pottery that they had there for him to do his textures on it. And we'll talk about that a little bit if you want. So this is where they're explaining that the house is the stockade and the center pole were rebuilt to exact the archaeological footprint. And then here they were talking about it revealed, the excavations that they've done revealed 19 structures, 308 storage trash pits, and numerous thermal features. And then the stockades and the sweat lodges and the center pole complex surrounded by the plaza, because there's a center to the whole village, and then the homes and stuff are along the center.
Yeah.
So this is Melissa Tights. She's a fiber artist, and she calls this one the People's Way. And she had a respect for the movement and the flowing of the fabric and the beads and so on, that she imagined that they would be that they would enjoy. This piece is by Dave Cromwell. Dave Cromwell is a master framer of artwork anyway.
And this is a weapon.
This is a weapon, and this was from the Algonquin period, so he expanded on his knowledge and his experience of the cultures. Bob Coates. So a lot of the patterns that were on the pottery, and people that know more, can comment a lot more on this, but they created a pattern on the pottery because that allowed them to have texture to hold on to it. So he put a very simple pattern on his pieces. The leather work.
Are these based on any finds at Sunwatch?
Right. In the Discovery Center, very few pieces were whole that they have there, seen a lot, but there were a few that were very close to being complete, and there are some that were complete. They had them in their trash. They were storage bins. There were holes in the ground where they would store food, corn, and so on underground. Well, eventually they became trash pits, and that's where you would find the fragments and the bones and so on, which I think was like the 308 that they mentioned. They would get full or whatever, and then they would create new ones. So you would find a lot of the patterns on their pottery, the way it was built. However, there is no actual organic material left. So this is taking a little bit of liberty to imagine that they would have used things to help hold them and so on. Woven in Time is Sharon Stolzenberger's watercolor on gesso.
Rather abstract.
It is, yeah, but it's a nod to the changing of time.
And I can see a woven pattern in that.
It is.
There are some fabrics that have survived in archaeological sites that look like that.
So this is one of my pieces. This is a wild turkey feather and an eagle painted in oils on it. So in the pieces that I created, I have a few others, kind of runs the same theme, that to honor the animals, you know, the gratitude to thank the animals that were their food, the gratitude for all that they were, and then the eagle power, eagle energy, eagle medicine is respect. The slate pendant by Dave Caldwell.
What kind of art do you usually do?
I'm a painter, and but that once I say that, then I have multiple mediums that I enjoy working in, and I'm most known for my watercolor, but I really did some different things for this exhibit. So one of the things that that stood out to me, it was that the waterways, the way the waterways were such, a lifeline, not just for their food, but to travel and so on. Mm-hmm. So this is one of the places I like to go to sit and meditate on the water as medicine. And this is the part of the Great Miami River. The water divides around an island, and this is the shadow side of that.
Sometimes they're called water trails. Water trails.
I like that you said that, because now I'm like, I can see it that way. Yeah. Yeah. And their canoes and what it would take for them to be able to travel and go, water trails. I'm gonna do one and call it that one of those.
Okay.
So this is Steve Whirler. He featured the day he toured. The sky was just like that. We weren't sure if it was going to rain or not rain on us, but he really featured the poles there.
The wood henge.
The wood henge. I love that. Yeah, it just fits. He would have had more work, but he sold some of it for the initial exhibit. So Andrew Lauren was not one of the original artists, but he brings a really unique sensitivity to his work, and you'll see that the red line. So he is making this one. If it's purchased, the proceeds from the sale will go to the Land of Hope organization. So I did some of the animals that would have been here, being the wolves, or that are still. We're glad to see the black bear in our area coming back.
Yeah, we had a couple here in Chillicothe a few years ago. 2 different police dashboard cams showing the bears.
Yeah, I know they're hard to live with, but they're important. They are. So this is one of Andrew's pieces. It's the Desperate Exchange. I'm going to pick that up and hold that.
And is that a quarter? Or a penny?
I don't know.
It's definitely a coin from Western culture.
Yeah, Western culture. And then he has a small icon of a Native American woman. So we'll have to ask him. He's here.
So Mordecai Hopewell was the namesake of the Hopewell culture. His farm was excavated. That's where the Hopewell were identified. So he has a nod to that, but in speaking to him,
he understands that the current, to call them the mound builders, is, some people are more sensitive to being called Hopewell versus mound builders. So he, in conversation, he acknowledged that there is that shift that's happening. This is the ceremonial incarceration.
And I faintly see letters in there.
There are letters, yeah. There are. And then you have birth. And I think it's up to the viewer to decide if it's a birth of an idea, a birth of a culture, a birth of changes, or birth of a person.
Another somewhat abstract work.
Yes, this is also Sharon's work. Sharon uses a lot of imagery in her work, and she has had a lot of experiences with some of the other information about different cultures, and she painted at the zoo, Cincinnati Zoo, and so on. So for her to use the letter and the words just makes her feel connected. They're universal, the images and that feeling. Although our letters versus somebody else's way of writing, communication, whatever, may be different. But the fact that we use images and writing for communication, it's universal. Back to our fiber artist, Melissa. She calls this the ancient journey. She's actually her family's from the Chillicothe area.
And there's a point in the center there.
Yeah, she has an arrowhead, or what they call them, arrowheads, spear point.
And is this a part of...
Yeah, this is also one of my pieces. This is a bowl that was turned by Barry Todd, and that I painted the red-tailed hawk feather on here in oils. And it was my intention that when you look at it at just the right angle, it looks like it's actually hanging over and laying on it. It's a trompe-l'oeil. It's an attempt to do trompe-l'oeil, so it looks like you can just pick it up. It's very smooth. This is Oil Pastel by a Wood Duck by Teresa Smith. Teresa is actually a photographer, a wildlife photographer, and this is her nod to the wildlife that would have been in that area, whether it be food or for decorations for the feathers, and which is why she selected this particular duck. So it could be ornamental, it could be food, and it's just part of the river life.
How can people learn more about the art here and Sunwatch itself?
Sunwatch, you go on, there's a website for the Sunwatch. You can go on the internet, Google it for Sunwatch, that site will come up. As far as the art, I'm on Facebook. I have a website, and it's under rustyharden.com. My Facebook page is Rusty Harden. I'm happy to answer any questions or to get ideas and make other connections.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.